Week 2 picks, here we go. Ethan, I'm Camden. This is my co-star,
baby.
Ethan.
We're ready.
And a lot of big matches we had week 1. Upsets. What do you think about that?
Well, Buccaneers, Ryan Fitzmagic, Super Bowl champions this year. My prediction. You heard it here first, baby.
Are you sure about that? Let's not forget about
Yes.
Jameis Winston coming in.
Nope.
Fitzmagic is magic.
Winston sucks.
No, I don't know. But Falcons, Eagles, Eagles looking the same.
They could win it too. That'll be a good game. Eagles and Bucks this week would be a good game.
All right, well, let's get into it. Week 2, first game, Baltimore at Bengals. Who do you like?
I like the Ravens in this one. Joe Flacco is gonna score. Is gonna throw for four touchdowns, and he's gonna have a great game.
I also like that. He got a couple receivers, Michael Crabtree, Willie Snead.
I have a question.
Oh, we have our first audience member asking questions.
If you think Joe Flacco is going to score 4 touchdowns and they're up by that much, do you think they could possibly put Lamar Jackson in at the end of the game?
Well, RG3 is their backup quarterback.
It is possible.
Lamar Jackson is their
if the
third-string
fans-
quarterback.
I don't see it now because it's an
I
away
like
game.
Lamar Jackson, so I'm asking.
I like him too, but I think he won't. If maybe Joe Flacco goes down, they might throw him in there. RG3, whoever's it's up to the coaching staff apparently. But Bengals not looking too good. I think Colts defense
So do you
just.
think they're going to put him in or not? Because you didn't really answer.
I don't think they're gonna put him in.
Okay.
But Bengals, they play a pretty bad Colts defense. I think Joe Mixon had a pretty good game, but not that good of a defense they're up against.
Nope.
Let's get next into it. Chiefs at the Steelers. Now, Ethan,
Big Steelers fan.
big Steelers fan
Hashtag
here.
Steeler Nation, baby. Let's
And
go.
the Chiefs, I think, are going to take this one. I think Steelers, they tied to the Browns.
You know, we always show up against the Chiefs, man. Chiefs just are trash compared
I
to
think
the Steelers.
Tyreek
man.
Hill
AB's going to
is
catch
going to do pretty good.
30 passes this week.
Patrick Mahomes has a cannon.
Best receiver in the NFL.
We have a question from
Have
Spencer.
a young blood running
Oh,
back.
Chiefs. How you feel about Johnny?
Cancel that question from Spencer. Next matchup. Dolphins at Jets.
Well, the Miami Dolphins looked really good last week against who'd they play? Who did the Dolphins play last week? Titans.
Titans.
They looked good against the
That
Titans.
was the longest game in NFL history now.
Yeah, 3 lightning delays.
6
Pretty
hours
crazy.
was the wait.
But the Jets looked really good against the Lions. I'm gonna take the visiting Dolphins in this one.
I'm going to take the Jets. I think Sam Darnold. Matt Stafford wasn't doing too good, but I think Sam Darnold is he's a stud.
Sam Darnold's
Him and
pretty
Robbie
good
Anderson going to
quarterback
have a
right
couple of connections.
I have a question about the
What
Miami
did-
offense.
All right.
Do you think with Devontae Parker out, it's going to be Kenny Stills or Danny Amendola getting more of the work?
there. Kenny Stills.
I also think Kenny Stills more of a deep threat. They were using Damian Amendola
They'll
as
use
more
them
of
both.
short passes, but if it gets to the end zone, if they're go more Amendola, just
I got a question for Ethan. Frank Gore, starter sit for my fantasy.
Ooh, I'm gonna go sit because Jets have a really good run defense and Kenyon Drake's the starter anyway. So
Okay.
I wasn't really satisfied with Baltimore Ravens' answer about Lamar Jackson. Do you think Joe Flacco can keep Lamar Jackson from taking this job?
I
yes,
think
for
as
sure. They've won a Super Bowl with him as quarterback. So
Joe Flacco was elite quarterback for about 1 year, and
And when they beat your 49ers, didn't they? In the Super Bowl?
I am a 49ers fan, and
Well,
that's still
RG3 's
upsetting. There was a
RG3's
holding call at the end of that play, but we're gonna let that
RG3
pass.
continue to, stay
All right, let's go to the
healthy.
next
I
one.
don't
Let's
know
go to
how
the
he's-
Next matchup, we have Eagles, reigning Super Bowl champions, at the Buccaneers.
Well, this is my upset of the week. I'm going Ryan Fitzmagic and the Bucks. Him and Mike Evans are going for
No,
a bunch of scores. They're going to surprise
Definitely.
the Eagles. They got a home game. A lot of momentum against the Saints.
I think the Bucks Fitzmagic was a one-time deal, not happening again. Eagles are gonna take this one. Foles had a little power going, just getting back into it, and he's gonna continue.
I have a question about how the Eagles game last week. What was it, like 18-16?
18-12, I believe it was.
18-12? Are you worried about the Eagles struggling for the first couple of games with Nick Foles under center?
I think Nick Foles, we just had to get back in the groove of things.
And no,
And he's gonna do
because
better.
Carson Wentz is going to be the starter.
Carson Wentz will be
Coming
back
back
in a
pretty soon.
couple more weeks when he's fully healed.
So coming off a Super Bowl victory, how do you think they're going to handle that pressure of being?
Super Bowl champions. Well, I think they're playing the Bucks. I think they might have had a little bit of a hangover against the Falcons, but the Falcons cannot
They
score in the
still
red
came around
zone.
with the win.
And do you think the Bucks defense are going to improve throughout the season, or do you think it's going to?
I think maybe a trade
No,
deadline
they have
comes around.
nobody.
They might get someone big, they'll go
They
for
have
someone big
nobody.
probably. They do have JPP they picked up in the offseason. He's pretty good. Let's get the next matchup. Browns at Saints. Browns looking pretty decent
Yeah,
against
but
the Steelers.
not really though. See,
Oh, okay.
Saints, they had a bunch of miscues last game. I'm expecting them 100% to win by at least 30
I also
points.
think the Saints are going to win this week.
It's okay.
Mark
They got
Ingram-
Alvin Kamara, Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, my boy, great receiver.
Denzel Ward, rookie cornerback for the Browns. Do you think he will shut down Michael Thomas this week?
I think
No,
he'll be pretty good. Big test for him come this week. And,
But he had Antonio Brown in week 1, which is a better wide receiver.
I believe he is too. And, it all depends on how everyone's feeling that game. Let's get to the next matchup. Colts at the Redskins. I like the Redskins in this one. Colts defense not that hot. Alex Smith, little spark in the Redskins offense.
okay. Well, I'm taking Indy because they have a lot of luck on their side.
I like that. T.Y. Hilton, maybe. Get him going.
They're gonna be a pretty good team this year.
I have a question. Adrian Peterson, I think he's what, like 32 years old now?
33, I believe.
33. Do you think after giving up 25 fantasy points to Joe Mixon, like what was it, 150 total yards and a touchdown? Do you think Adrian Peterson is going to be able to produce as much as he did last week?
I feel Adrian Peterson is definitely more of a power back than Joe Mixon, and he will be able to produce. And he probably might run for 2 touchdowns, but, Redskins also have Chris
Start-
Thompson in the backfield that they might get a little receptions into him.
Start Adrian Peterson this week.
I recommend starting Adrian Peterson. Next matchup,
Fantasy.
Chargers at Bills. This is,
For all your fantasy people, start all the Chargers that you can.
Melvin
Keenan
Gordon
Allen,
definitely.
Melvin Gordon, Phillip Rivers,
Uh,
Mike Williams.
Austin
What
Eckler.
about Austin Eckler?
I don't.
Austin
I better.
Eckler?
I say sit him maybe. No, definitely sit him. Melvin Gordon's been taking most of the rushes, and
What about Keenan Allen, the number 1 receiver, versus Tre'Davious White, the number 1 cornerback for the Bills?
I think Keenan Allen. He's talented, very talented.
Calvin.
And,
Keenan Allen will have a good game.
he
100
will,
receiving
he will.
yards.
100 plus. Next matchup is Vikings at Green Bay. Vikings did okay last week, facing the 49ers. Had a couple. Dalvin Cook fumbled, big time run could have happened, but not so good.
Green Bay, on the other hand, they play pretty well with Aaron Rodgers, but without him,
They can't win
they're
without
worse
him.
than the Browns. So
I like the Vikings in this one.
I'm taking Green Bay, Packers. Packers will just. Aaron Rodgers is just the best quarterback.
I think
So
Vikings definitely have the defense to stop Aaron Rodgers, and he already hasn't. We don't even know his status yet. Knee injury
if
could
they
be
play
big.
Green Bay, Packers got this game.
Carolina at Falcons. NFC South matchup. Big matchup.
Big game.
do you think?
It's a big game. I'm taking the Panthers on the road. Falcons just did not impress me with their offense. Eagles are a tough defense, but the Falcons could be one of the best offenses in the league with Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, Devontae Freeman,
Tevin Coleman too.
Tevin Coleman, but they just haven't been impressing me lately. So
I like
I'm gonna go with
Carolina on this one. Big road matchup, but I think they can easily handle it with Falcons not having a red zone offense really.
You think Newton's going to be able to return to his 2015 form?
I think with the help of Christian McCaffrey and his running game, I think he'll be up there. He'll be a top 7 quarterback. Texans at the Titans. Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins. Big time that big time duo there. I like them taking this one against the Titans.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson threw a few picks last game. I don't expect the same performance out of him.
Just getting the
It's
rust
gonna
out.
be a good game. Texans win this one.
Titans Marcus Mariota a little hurt too, so
I don't think he's
100%
playing
probably.
this week. I don't know. I don't think he's playing.
I think he will play.
I don't think he's playing.
Cardinals at Rams. I like the Rams at this one. Their front line, pretty big. Not
This is a big divisional matchup, NFC West. I think the Rams are a better team, but the Cardinals have a chance, but I'm going to take the Rams.
Next matchup is Detroit Lions at the 49ers.
Ooh.
49ers big opening.
Shit show.
I don't believe so. I think it could end up being a good matchup if Matthew Stafford can get going, but 49ers defense maybe
Yeah.
maybe give a little challenge to that with their front line.
Yeah, Stafford's the Lions O line is just not pretty. Stafford's gonna have a better game than last week, obviously, but 49ers should pull this one out.
I also like the 49ers, my favorite team in the NFL. And the next matchup, Raiders at Broncos. Raiders weren't looking too good. A lot of picks out of Derek Carr. No touchdown passes thrown. But
I don't expect John Gruden to let his team go 0-2 to start, so I'm picking the Raiders.
100 million, they better be winning, but I think I'm going to have the Broncos. at
Raiders
home.
Raiders are gonna sign Martavis Bryant this week. Yes, they're gonna re-sign him again.
Do you think
So,
the Raiders coaching staff is
pretty
still
good.
gonna have is still gonna like Derek Carr after his abysmal second half?
Yes, Derek Carr is their franchise quarterback.
Next matchup, Patriots at Jaguars. AFC Championship rematch. This is going to be probably game of the week, coming week 2.
Well, this is an unbiased opinion because I hate both these teams, but I'm taking the Patriots.
I think at home at Jacksonville. I got the Jaguars taking this W here. Jalen Ramsey gonna talk a lot of shit. He's got to back it up.
Who do you think is going to be starting, whether it be Leonard Fournette or TJ Yeldon? And do you think if Leonard Fournette does start, do you think he's going to be getting a lot of carries, or do you think they're going to more intermix it with TJ?
Leonard Fournette did not practice today, Wednesday. They did say he downplayed his injury, his hamstring injury. They said he could have gone back in, but he decided not to for safety reasons. They didn't want to get him hurt. I think that he will play this coming Sunday, and that TJ Yeldon may get a little bit more production. Don't want to overuse Fournette, but
Yes, it could go either way, but Fournette should start.
all depends on how he's feeling come game time. New York Giants at Cowboys. NFC East big matchup. Saquon Barkley, Eli Manning. I like them over the Cowboys. Cowboys looking a little rough. Had a little spark in them at the end of the game, but
Yes, the Giants, they're looking good. Saquon Barkley, Odell Beckham Jr., obviously one of the best receivers. I think they'll pull this one out. It'll be a close one, but they
But-
should win.
What do you guys think the better rusher is going to be this week, whether it be Zeke or Saquon?
I think Jalen Smith on the Cowboys might have a little slowdown for Saquon. Might slow him down a bit. I think Ezekiel Elliott, he could probably rush for 200 plus yards, a couple touchdowns maybe, but it really all depends on how
Nah.
the Giants are feeling.
As usual.
Zeke's going to have a nice game, but it's going to be a rushing battle. But, Zeke's a better running
Cowboys
back right
not
now.
really minding receivers.
I think they're going to be running a lot more, and Zeke should have more
I
yards.
have a question about what Jalen Ramsey said about Eli Manning. He said Eli Manning is nothing without OBJ. Do you guys believe that? And do you think that if OBJ does end up re-injuring his leg, then they have absolutely no shot at a playoff contender?
Well, you see, Saquon Barkley is. That's why they drafted
I
Saquon
completely
to bring
agree
him
with
in.
that. Completely agree with that. Eli Manning was one of the had a really good career, but it's basically over now. He's honestly not very good without Odell.
I think next draft year coming, Eli Manning is going to have a fight for his job against one of these rookie quarterbacks. But,
Yep.
Next matchup,
Monday Night Football.
Seahawks at Bears. Bears, Mac was looking really good for the Bears.
Yep.
2 fumble recoveries, one scoop and score.
If the Bears don't choke this one this week, they should win, but I'm going to take the Seahawks because Russell Wilson is he's insane. He knows how to make plays, so take the Seahawks.
I'm liking the
close one.
Bears here. I think their defense is going to step up bigger time. And, Seahawks, their offense isn't that good. And, Seahawks, their defense isn't the same. Richard Sherman is now with the 49ers.
Yeah.
And I just think, it's going to be close. But all in all, since it's at Soldier Field, that Bears are definitely going to take this one.
All right, question?
So obviously they have Trey Burton in at tight end, but their third string tight end, Ben Broniker, is looking pretty strong. He showed up to
He was their number 1 tight end, and then he got injured. Trey Burton was not being utilized like he should be. Didn't really use him that much, but
Ben Broniker showed up to practice today, and he is about 6'7",
I think they'll be using him if he's healthy all the way. That's it for games of the week. Time for locks and upsets. Ethan, what do you have for your lock?
My lock is Saints will beat the Browns this week.
I have 49ers beating the Lions.
Now with the upsets, who do you have?
I have Carolina beating Falcons at home. And I think that'll be a good game and should end up Carolina winning.
And I am sure you guys already know my upset, but it's Buccaneers beating the Eagles at home because it's just everything's pointing for that.
And then hot take of the week.
All right, now for the shitfest of the week. What do you think this will be? What is the worst game on this week's schedule?
Worst game? I think the 49ers will blow out the Lions. And probably going to be not that good of a game.
I think that the Monday Night Football game will be the worst game because it's just Seahawks at Bears. I mean, it's on national television, but those are two not very good teams this year, and Khalil Mack will just destroy everybody on the Seahawks. And yeah,
I think so too.
That's it. Now,
Hot takes. I think Jimmy Garoppolo come back. He's going to have 300-plus throwing yards, 2 touchdowns, probably one to Marquise Goodwin, one to Pierre Garcon.
How many interceptions?
I'll give him one, probably 1 interception.
Not 3 like last week?
No, definitely not 3.
Alright.
Lions defense is
My
not as good as
prediction-
Vikings.
my prediction is Antonio Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster will both catch over 180 yards and 2 touchdowns for both of them against a pretty shaky Chiefs defense.
When's Le'Veon coming back?
Hopefully soon.
Speaking of Le'Veon,
Hopefully Le'Veon.
I don't think he'll.
What do
I
you
think he's
guys-
going to hold out
say
for a
about
long
Lev?
time.
What do you?
Le'Veon Bell, he's probably going to hold out until they're either going to get traded or the Steelers. They're going to suck, and they're going to beg for him to come back, and they might pay him.
Well, first you got to know your facts because James Conner he's going to be good no matter what. The Steelers are not going to be like screwed if Le'Veon Bell doesn't come back. He's obviously the best running back in the league, but whatever. We need him, but we don't need him at the same time.
How is his not signing his contract affecting the team?
It did affect the locker room. Offensive linemen were getting a little upset.
They were getting really mad at him, and just it's not good.
What about
Can't
James
talk about
Conner? Do you think Le'Veon Bell comes back, James Conner, with the production that he's been having? Do you think maybe James Conner will have more of a role in the offense than the previous year?
Yes, James Conner will have more of a role, but it's still Lev's team. It's still Lev is the running back. He's the number 1 guy no matter what. James Conner they'll split more carries, and James Conner might line up as a wide receiver sometimes.
Thank you for tuning in. That's week 2's picks. We'll catch you next
We'll
week.
see ya.
Go Chiefs!